cold in the December. The roads that I'm from will turn you to a contender. I'm a Jean-Claude Van Damme, there's no surrender. You didn't know money when the bally meant this trallies up. When I'm saying money, I'm not talking about Pacquiao. It's funny how the tables turn. You're not Ricky Hatton. Tonight I have to let me put my body down. When you was hitting bags, I was still bagging up in mommy's house. You was in the Philly shell when I was getting batted down. Prison cell, swimming in my thoughts, trying not to drown. Shadow boxing in my pad, I hit the gym when I got out. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks with me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city. War with me, that's war with the 6-1. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me.
Now what we gonna do right here is settle the score. Look around you. We got a whole room full of monsters. We gonna shut it down like this. Let's go. Yeah. The tricks of the trade, the rules of the game. I've been to the top and I've been to the bottom. I tell you they look about the same. I can speak about comfort. I can speak about pain. You wanna come do this?
Close the door. Let's do it.
You've let him back in. Now it's going to be a tougher fight because he's going to be confident. I want you to go back out there.
Let's do it.
switching off, and you're starting to make mistakes. You need to go back, switch back.
Do your business.
Okay, it's not working. It's not working. Switch southpaw.
For I am the truth. I am the light that lighteth every man and woman that cometh into this continent, into this world of America today.
Here we are, getting ready for this showdown between these two fighters. Should be a good one. I'm Todd Grisham, and here with me, my broadcast colleague, it's Johnny Nelson.
The pleasure's always mine, my friend.
It's time for our tale of the tape. Roy Jones Jr., 80 kilos bang on, 180 centimeters tall with a reach of 188. And he'll be... It's Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest of all time, Pensacola's finest, an undisputed champion at 4 different weight classes.
This battle.
These two have certainly... And that's the opening bell, round 1. Straight right just misses. He just got caught with a big right. Defense is not an option for these two. One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this, our main event.
Can you imagine walking into this time? Walking into an arena with such nice people chanting your name. You can't even hear your cornerman whisper in your ear. I've been in situations like that where it can be terrorizing if you haven't got your wits about you.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Some real good back and forth between these two fighters.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I gotta respect both of them more than happy.
Ooh, and that was a big right hand right on the button. They both want the knockout. How about that time counter shot? They both want a knockout, you can tell. And he wasn't ready. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
Every second, every minute of this fight.
Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. After that last round, something has got to change.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
He prevents that left uppercut from scoring. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. The perfect counter lands. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
He threw a punch and just got countered. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. He missed with that jab. Catch him! He caught him clean! Clean as a whistle! Back and forth they go. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Coley may go down here. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage. There's the bell to start round 3. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Catch and shoot. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. You'd like to see more jabs. Counter punch. His stamina is off the charts. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. The right hook misses. Counter punch right up the middle. Nice counter. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Back at it in round 4. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until the senses have come back.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Beautiful counter shot. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. They exchange punches. The straight right just misses. punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Beautiful counter punch. The straight right just misses. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Punch, counter punch. Lawrence Okolie caught with a thunderous shot. Looks like trouble was averted.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a close.
You know what?
That was a tougher fight.
Things are starting to heat up now as we enter the fifth. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now.
Hold on a second, Johnny. Did you see that? This is what Okolie did not want to do. He somehow weathered the storm.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
That counter punch caught him clean. The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? The straight right just misses. Perfect counter shot. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you blip and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Nice counter shot. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. You know that bell was... Here's the bell to start round 6. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him up. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Swinging big and missing big with that hook. Threw the uppercut but did not score. Well done with that counter shot. Got him there. Nice counter shot. Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
There's a counter shot. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will when they hit. be a lot harder.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Good counter punching. Is he going to punch himself out, though? This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about a Coley in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? And here comes round 7. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. And he scores with the counter. That counter shot lands. You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
That punch lands. When are we going to see a jab from these two? What heart, what desire, but at what cost? A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about a Coley in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on. And we enter the 8th round. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Nice counter punch. Swing and a miss with the jab. That jab misses. See if they go to the body. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. With Three judges agree, and we've got a unanimous decision.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened.